here at the Bunburra Festival. We're with Marty Ermer, who is the project manager for this whole event. Marty, how are you feeling right about now?
Pumped. We've only been going maybe about 6 or 7 hours, and we've got probably another 6 or 7 to go. But have a look at us. This is our office for today. You couldn't ask for any better. Totally loving it, and seeing the smiles on all these kids' faces. I'd do this for 7 days in a row. It wouldn't bother me just to see what the expressions on their faces.
Cool. And so this is such an amazing event. Where did the idea actually come from?
Well, I sort of identified that our mobs weren't getting together. They weren't giving each other's information across. And I just thought that maybe there's a way that we could pull mob together from so many different regions, and they have stories of their own, and they have customs that they have with their communities and each tribe. And I thought, wow, wouldn't it be cool if everybody could pass that information on to each other and give a little bit more education amongst ourselves, and spread the word loud and proud. And I thought I'd use touch football as the vehicle, because everybody loves touch. So touch it's the vehicle, and it's secondary to what the outcomes that we're looking for, and hopefully that we're going to get them, and the kids get a bit of a fire in the belly, and they go home, take that to community, and see that there's more to life than being at community, and it is not far of a goal to reach out and grab. And if they get any obstacles in their road, just keep going, just reach out, grab them. Some of those guys that spoke today, the ex-NRL players, and Scotty Prince and Preston Campbell and Petro Sivanasiva, they've all had, a fair amount of problems in their lives and things like that. And hey, look at them, they're superstars. And I challenge you to tell me that there's not a superstar out on this sand today, whether it's next Kathy Freeman or even Mundine, or there's Yvonne Goolagong. No, the list goes on, and this is a breeding ground, and these kids are the next leaders, the next group, the next future. And if you don't give them the right messages earlier on, well we're giving them the wrong ones, and job becomes a little bit more harder.
You touched on there for a moment that sense of community and sharing and bringing everyone together to, create almost that unified one mob mentality, where we're really bringing young people up as young people who want to strive to be whatever they possibly can be, and who are supported by a community that are certainly looking for the best for them. I think that's testament today. We've talked to a lot of people who have been talking about just the elements of community that brought them together. The Warri team picked up another team because their bus broke down and things like that. You must be really happy with the outcomes that have come so far, and as you said, there's still another 6 or 7 hours, and then these guys are all staying together tonight as well. What do you think is going to be your main highlight of this whole event?
I don't think we've got enough recording material. Seriously though, like what Warrabinda did for Cherbourg, the Warri kids, they don't know the Cherbourg kids, I don't believe. And for them to band together and spend an extra 6 hours on the road to go and pick up new mob, we got an outcome before we even began, which is a large outcome, and that's exactly what you've just said. We have 6 or 7 hours to go tonight, but we still have tomorrow, and tomorrow is another day of engagement where the kids will be taking on the volunteer marine rescue, the water police vessels and jet skis, taken up and down the river. Some of them never been on a boat before, some have probably never been on the ocean before, some have never been out here. There's sand everywhere. Outcomes are everywhere, even if it means somebody picking up a handful of sand and taking that home, and that's what they remember Bunburra as. So long as they remember something that comes from the heart when they shut their eyes and they see it and they remember. To us, we may not ever know what that is, but individually they'll hold something about this day, and hopefully they hold that as this experience when they grow up, that they'll remember this day, and it could have been a trigger for them,
Yes, certainly, Marty, and I think that the big high five here is to you and your team today. We've heard that mentioned by the community sport and rec officers over and over again as we've interviewed them. They're all very grateful for you and your team and the effort they've put in. You mentioned before as well that, the community are a big part of it. You've had massive support from Gold Coast City Council and plenty of other partners along the way. What do you see for this event in future years?
You're right. There are a lot of people who put their hands up to give without expecting any return whatsoever, except for the outcomes that we were expecting on a whole. So many people, so many organisations, both locally and nationally, have hopped in and got on with us. What you see out the back, or you see out the front here, we've got one court. Out the back, we've got 2 courts. You ask about the future of Bunburra. I think the future for Bunburra is quite scary, actually. I think we're going to end up into a one-week festival. You know, maybe having 7 or 8 touch football fields, bringing in new mob. You know, traditionally, you know, we're Murray up this end, Corey down in New South Wales. Let's bring them in. Bring them in. Let's meet. Let's talk about how they do their things. You know, nothing better than creating new friends and lifelong friends. So, yeah, it's scary. It's very exciting. I can't wait. The preparations for next year have already begun, and we've still got another few days to go for this one. So, mate, I think exciting times ahead, and so many more mob, as well as general community, want to get in on this. I've had many a school ring me and say, hey, why aren't we involved? So once that explanation was done and they were happy, they were actually turned up to watch. So, you know, this thing holds so many positives for so many cultures. And, yeah, let's have put this down on the Gold Coast calendar along with the Commonwealth Games. Yep. That they'll be putting Bunburra down in their calendar and knowing that we'll have this space for here in the next 20 years.
Cool. All right. So wrap us up in 3 words for Bunburra. Go.
Oh my